Payday 2 is coming to the end of its lifespan with 10th anniversary ending and the ironic dead game outfit being released. I think now is the perfect time to sum up what we came to after 10 years of Payday 2. After trying out older version of the game, I have realized how many mechanics were scrapped, so many things were completely changed, and just overall the game has a different feel to it. So at some point I started writing down things I have noticed and put them on a list, or where I label them as good or bad for the game. While I did ask some other people for their opinions, this list is still pretty subjective and can be taken as my own opinion. The comments are open, write anything you want. Let's start with things that were improved over the years. To nobody's surprise, having a lot of content in a game is always good, as long as it isn't useless bloat. The depth of building was improved massively with addition of perk decks, dozens of weapons, throwables, masks, characters, etc. It is natural for games to be expanded if there is success, but it is definitely better to have so much content in the game. Continental coins removed RNG when it comes to upgrading a weapon. Putting modifications on your weapon relied on complete RNG, and player progression shouldn't be 100% tied to a random chance. This is the case for Deep Rock Galactic, and a huge portion of community dislikes it. While Continental coins were a good addition, they were poorly implemented and removed the small dopamine rush you get after finally putting a good modification on a weapon you want. With the current system, you don't feel like upgrading a weapon is something you earned. It's just given to you naturally, with how easy it is to pile up Continental coins. Coins should be limited in some way, preferably time-gated. I'll explain this later in the video when I'll be talking about weapon mods. Navigating all menus was definitely painful. Inventory menus had no page system, same goes for assets. You could not see which stats you have while you're modifying a weapon to know at which number your stats ended up. There was no buy all assets button. The stats make no sense when you compare them to more than 0 to 100 stats. This is definitely an improvement over 10 years. Netcode was awful. You know how loud you generally don't feel any impact of ping on your game unless you have more than 200 ping? Well, this isn't the case here, as clients play a completely different game. Other players look like they live 5 seconds behind you. Detection feels really janky with cameras and guards spotting you seconds after you left their line of sight. I don't think if you can even compare update 237 desync with old Payday desync, but to advantage of old Payday 2, the loading times were almost instant, while recent versions of Payday 2 take multiple minutes to load, unless you want to invest into some SSDs. Weapons definitely got more unique over time. Until recently we had blunt weapons switch to same thing in the same way. While you still shoot bullets to keep carbs just like you did before, now you do it in unique ways, like firing multiple bullets at once, poisoning enemies with gas or tombstone, or reloading after every shot, and many more unique concepts that came up as of recently. Before sneaky bust and low blow got added, there was zero purpose to have low detection risk. There was zero purpose to have low detection risk on suppressors unless you're doing it stealth. Grab ICTV and the loudest gun you can possibly find. You'll have much better time than losing all your damage by equipping a suppressor, only to barely compensate it with Silent Killer, which costs a shit ton of points and still has less damage than loud extensions. Current Payday 2 has a reason to build for low detection risk, which once again boosts build variety by a whole mile. Can't skip over accessibility. Even if the features they added are a blank copy of mods which existed for ages, having accessibility features is a massive improvement for the game. Pre-planning was a great addition to the game. Choosing how you approach the heist and doing the heist the way you want to is 100 times better than spending money on a pre-planned, predetermined dead drops. Not to mention how many opportunities the pre-planning has allowed for heists, such as choosing if you want to delay the first assault or have a hack take less time on Big Bang. More thought process put into the briefing screen is good. However... Wait, what? Didn't you say that pre-planning is a good addition? Don't get me wrong, it is. But that feature has gotten worse over the years. Big Bang and Golden Green Casino released with massive pre-planning systems, but most of the heists we get nowadays barely consider pre-planning feature outside of dead drops. I have 1 or 2 assets which are 100% grab and rest goes to dead drops. When was the last time you actually bought a dead drop for Big Bang? The system is not just dead drop with a twist. Nowadays we have heists like Breakfast in Tijuana, where you have an option to choose between dead drops or illegally park car, stealth only, poisoning a guard, stealth only, and having a window open, stealth only. Then there is San Martin, where you have Blood Surprise, which is a 100% pick, Crude Awakening and Hostile Takeover literally have favors, which is spawn in extra loot, which is just a meme. Remember how I mentioned Big Bang being a good heist for pre-planning? Well, even Big Bang was downgraded, since Filmate Vault entry plan used to be more expensive in terms of favor points, and you couldn't just pick Elevator Escape, which made your approach actually be a choice, and not 100% pick. I don't need to explain a whole lot about AI downgrades. Currently we have slow walking AI with insanely inflated spawn counts. This one image can explain the horrors the game AI has faced during the Jules era. Back then, the game did have very strong options which everyone was using, but that is the case for almost every game. You always have meta, and developers should try to keep meta as healthy as possible for the game. You still have something like ICTV with 255 armor with all Death Wish damage values, but it was strong, not overpowered, result of multiple completely different people working on the game and changing aspects of the game as they want to has led to balance being a complete mess. The difference between best options and worst options is massive and never was addressed over the years. Tell me how many things in current version of the game simply win the game if you have the ability to press W, 3 and left mouse button. I can count at least 3. The amount of completely busted overpowered options has slowly increased over the years, which led every part of the game into massive power creep. As I said in the Continental Coin section, they were part of the reason why modding your weapons doesn't feel exciting anymore. The game has received hundreds of weapon mods over the years, and when you have so many weapon mods, you simply cannot balance the guns anymore, as having this many modifications eventually leads to almost any gun in the game being able to achieve 100 accuracy and 100 stability with ease. You have so many of them and you get every single one straight up with Continental coins. All modifications barely feel like an actual upgrade, and more like making your way up to getting 100. All weapon modifications were also really strong, and getting one on your weapon felt extremely nice. Guns should be customizable, but not to the point you forget which weapon you're even using after putting a million modifications on it. There is no more team specialization, it is gone almost entirely. You don't have people split team skills between each other to try to have the best chance of winning when it comes to an actual game. This is an issue caused by the new skill tree system where you can build a one-man army with ease. You no longer have people bring ammo bags for ammo, only to use bullets some of it and annihilate the entire map like Kimbo SMGs and such. You don't have people bring in drill skills because you have to go out of your way to bring them. And why don't you bring drill skills? Because your role isn't to bring team skills, your role is to keep killing and doing objectives until the heist is completed. Heists are no longer built around shape charges and so in mind. There are a lot of unique use cases for C4 and SAW on all heists, but right now C4 and SAW are only used as a way to speed up the completion of the heist in one way or another. For example, Watch Dogs Day 1 had an alternate path to exit the truck if you bring a SAW. Hoxton Breakout Day 2 had a unique way to block off spawn points if you bring shape charges. This is completely gone in new heists and is caused by team specialization no longer existing. I also want to mention how there used to be a lot of skills which provide benefits for entire team permanently, but closest we have right now is Forced Friendship Ace, which is just pure garbage. DLC quality has fallen off. DLCs used to provide you with so much more content than they do nowadays. If you bought Armored Transport DLC, you got 6 new heists, 3 new weapons, 4 new masks, and a lot of new achievements as free content. This is how DLC should feel, you buy something and you get all the content you want. However, nowadays, you buy a heist DLC and you get one heist. No mask, no bundles of heist, nothing really cool. Just a heist and a bunch of achievements, which aren't really a part of the DLC. Imagine this. You tried escaping in Watch Dogs Day 1 using the truck, but you do it too slowly and the trailer gets killed, resulting in a situation where you have to adapt quickly and correct, or when the plane gets shot down on Girl Bank and you have to carry bags through the sewers. New heists do not have dynamic mechanics which completely turn the heist around. Result of both poor balancing and removal of utility skills and skill trees has led to pseudo-styles being almost, if not completely, useless, and being absolutely redundant even if you want to have a higher chance of beating the heist. To nobody's surprise, the new marshals are completely useless. They don't fit the game at all, and are so bad to the point they aren't even considered specials by the developers themselves. While specials like minigun and medic doses are unique concepts, the way they were executed is awful, and they provide nothing valuable to the dozer scene. Even though all the dozer units are just differently colored units with different guns, they have way more going for them than being a slow bullet sponge or, oh hey, you need to kill this enemy one more times, dozer. All specials are memorable and scary, the new ones are forgettable and serve as a mild annoyance. So, with all the talk out of the way, did Payday 2, over the course of 10 years, become a better overwars game? My answer to this question is Payday 2 became different. Playing older version of the game did feel like playing Payday, but it had a completely different feeling to it. I can't say that I prefer any of the version of the game, but I would prefer if someone took the best things out of old and new Payday 2 and put it together, balance some things, and this would have been turned out to be a pretty fun game to play.